Hi, Roksanda. Of course, I think everybody knows you, but could you introduce yourself for those who might not?
Hello, my name is Roksanda Ilinčić. I'm a founder and creative director of women's wear label called Roksanda.
Your fashion journey has been absolutely incredible. Recently, you were awarded an MBE, which is just so fabulous. Where did it all begin? Are you where you thought you would be?
My fashion journey became really early when I was still a little girl. I don't think I was necessarily conscious about it, and I didn't know at the time that I will be doing this as my profession and my everyday job. But it was certainly passion that I started to develop, as I said, as I was very little. I always loved anything that clothes can bring, the joy, the expression, way of experimenting, way of playing. And as I said, it started very young. So when I was in my primary school, for example, I was the only student in a class that was actually customizing her own school uniform. So I was known to always change something on it. And it just kept growing from there and becoming more and more serious. And then eventually I enrolled myself to University of Applied Arts back in Belgrade, graduated BA from fashion design, and then came to London to study my master's.
I love that you're recognized for boldly using colors, these incredible luxurious fabrics, and defining outfits that are stylish but with clean lines. What inspires your designs? How did you find your unique design approach?
I always loved color, and when I came to study here in London, I realized that color is something that is really not present at the fashion at the time. Everything was grey. There was lots of greyness, black pieces as well. It's interesting that I'm wearing actually black and white today, which is not very typical Roksanda, but I wanted to bring something that was unusual, something that was reminding me of my country, Serbia, Belgrade, where I come from, and also something that wasn't around. So that's how color got introduced into my designs. There's also another very kind of important element in my designs, which is femininity. That was another thing that maybe wasn't as appreciated at the time as it's maybe now. So I wanted to find a new way, new modern way, how to dress women in feminine clothing. And I really became stubborn about it, that femininity always had to exist in some shape and form, even if it's juxtaposed against masculine coats or very kind of boxy silhouettes. Dress and feminine, quite soft drapery is always present in my collections as well. And going back to your questions, how did I develop everything? I think it's a journey. It's something that takes experimentation. It takes kind of soul searching as well. I think we all have to realize who we are and present it to our customers as well. I think message needs to be really genuine and really heartfelt. And the journey of this self-discovery, who I am as a designer, most likely started here in London at my St. Martin's course under incredible Louise Wilson. She's sadly not longer with us, but she was definitely driving force behind many creatives here in London, including myself.
How do you feel when you see someone wearing one of your pieces? Does it still excite you even as your brand scales?
Seeing somebody wearing my designs, it's always an exciting moment. Doesn't matter how big or small the brand is. I think that moment when you see somebody that has chosen your piece, and very often it's styled or worn in their own way. And I love how they, become almost like create different personalities and start to have life of their own, and also have that kind of bond between me, somebody who created them, and somebody that is wearing them. Obviously there is some point of contact that made the customer wear it, so it's always exciting. If I see somebody at the party wearing my designs, I always go up to them, introduce myself, and start the conversation.
There are so many strong female voices and leaders in the fashion industry. Is there anyone that has been a source of inspiration for you in your business, your design? What makes them inspirational for you?
There's many women and men, but in particular women that have inspired me in the past. The list is really long, but I can, and I will, start with my mom. She's somebody that always passionately loved and adored clothing, and I think that she passed that love and passion for design to me. After her, definitely Louise Wilson, who I mentioned already, my incredible tutor, head of a course of women's wear at St. Martin's at the time. She was incredible force and quite interesting with her methods of teaching us, but certainly somebody who would make you find your voice very quickly. Then there is definitely incredible Lulu Kennedy, who helped me with her organization Fashion East, that is still supporting so many young talents. I would not have been here without her, because she's the one that kind of put me on that international platform, and people who all came to come and see her shows would obviously see me and a couple more that were chosen. Mandy Leonard, again, one of my also early incredible women PR. She was doing my PR and with such a force and conviction. I think she definitely believed in me more than I did. And, you know, Ruth Chapman, incredible founder of Matches Fashion. The list really goes on and on. Sarah Maurer, incredible journalist as well. So the list is really, as I said, like full of incredible women that support other women and believe in other women, which is always such a great thing to have.
What do you love most about being a mother? How has it changed you, inspired you?
Yes, well, being a mother is definitely, I guess, my biggest achievement, I would say. Definitely the most rewarding as well. And having a daughter has made me realize that fashion is not a question of life and death, I must say, because before having my daughter, I think work was definitely, the boundaries between work and my personal life were very blurred. And once my daughter came along, this became much clearer. And some goals in life definitely changed as well. So, you know, you kind of learn about yourself much more, and you discover yourself as well by having a kid. So it's definitely a wonderful experience to have.
I know that you've always been interested in children's wear, and you had Blossom, which was inspired in part by your daughter. How did this come about?
Going back to my Blossom range, which I actually don't have anymore. And I don't have it simply because, yes, originally it was definitely inspired by my daughter, and once she grew out of it, I decided not to have it anymore. So it's just kind of give you an idea and put things into perspective, how some things, and having a daughter was also influencing some of my business decisions. But it was definitely a line that brought lots of smiles on many faces.
What is one of your most proudest moments?
It's not easy to give answer to this question, because I don't think that I have only one proud moment. We live very fast and work very hard, so sometimes it's really tricky to kind of stop and reflect and realize and gather our achievements that not just myself, but, you know, people around me have achieved and done. So it does take a moment or a question like this for you to reflect and to think about it. So, as I said, there have been many proud moments, but from business perspective, and probably the latest one, is definitely me receiving incredible accolade, MBE, from His Majesty the King, and it was, you know, really something that I will treasure until the rest of my life.
What was the biggest professional challenge you faced and overcome, and what makes you so proud of that achievement?
It's quite hard to pinpoint because there have been many challenges, and when you're trying to grow the brand, particularly when you're trying to grow the brand from your own home with just having yourself as the only person that is doing everything and multitasking. It's really, really hard, but each stage has slightly different challenges, and at each point that challenge seems like the biggest challenge, because obviously it feels very real and it's happening at a time. So yes, I wouldn't pinpoint one, but as I said, it's a journey that takes challenges that kind of constantly change. And I think what is important to always have that optimistic mindset and find a way, or think outside of the box differently and find a way to resolve them.
Looking back on your journey, what is one piece of advice or message you would give your younger self?
This actually question is really merged with a question like, what would I advise anybody that is young, not just my young self, but like anybody that is trying to do this profession. And I think the advice is that the journey is going to be very, very long, and the road is very steep, and the pace of movement is very, very slow. It is something that seems maybe to outsiders that, you know, particularly in fashion, that things are achieved quickly and swiftly and in such a kind of effortless way, but the truth can be further from that. And I think, yes, just prepare yourself for a long journey, and hopefully the results will come.
What does beauty and being beautiful mean to you?
Beauty and being beautiful to me is very much connected to what you carry inside of yourself. What is your soul? What is your spirit? What is the aura that you're having and that others are perceiving you as? I think that's beautiful. It's not really about physical beauty or about the beautiful clothes that we wear, definitely not. It's about something that is much deeper and more personal. That's how I perceive it.
With your crazy schedule, what is the one thing you do daily for yourself, for self-love, self-care, or overall well-being?
One thing that I will never skip every day, it's putting my red lipstick, and it's some sort of like a shelter and like power, I think. So applying the red lipstick, which doesn't take long, but it's still something that it's a ritual for me every day. It's something that I would definitely never skip, and it's a moment that always happens for me, no matter how busy the day is.
Why should we celebrate International Women's Day? Is there a message you want to give those watching?
International Women's Day is such an important day in a year, as we all know. There is no equality in the world, and us as a women in particular have to fight a little bit harder for it, particularly throughout the globe, where you know, female and women stances are far behind men's, and I would just love to give the message of you know, trying to always fight for their rights and trying to find for that love that I think that we as a females, as a mothers, as a sisters and friends always kind of feel have in abundance. I think that as a women we are very, very much connected to our hearts, and that message of love and independence and strength is definitely something I would like to send to all the women out there watching.